Hey yo guys, so we back with another video. You feel me? Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I do when you do the video. Without further ado, let's get into it. Now we're back with another video from my boy Astro Dior. So let's go ahead and get into it. Being ugly versus attractive in school. Now I'm still in school, so I can probably relate to this.
Attraction. Whether you give a damn about how you look or not, it goes without saying your appearance is your first impression. From your fit to your face, people's first thought of you is either, I like how this person looks, they're inviting, or damn, this nigga ugly than a bitch. Now if I'm being honest, all my life I've been told that I'm a handsome young man. When I would go into my mother's job at 14, her employees would consider statutory. I may have had a good foundation, but I was like you once. I had the little kid special, the low cut, the baldino jack, basically.
I've had that a couple times, but I ain't gonna lie. For the most part, bro, I actually had pretty good haircuts growing up. Like I had this a couple times. I mean, most black kids have had this. Let's be honest with ourselves. But for the most part, I would get a nice cut. Like I would literally have this, which is this cut isn't even necessarily a bad cut, because I've seen kids that it actually looks kind of nice on. I ain't gonna lie. Nowadays, some kids when they get this cut, they look pretty good. I'm like, damn. Like for 8, I'm like, how old you 8? That cut look good on you. You know what I'm saying? It probably would look better if you had a little bit of hair on your head, but when I was younger, I used to get the same haircut. But sometimes, one time I got it the worst way, but that was low key because I told my mom to just cut it all off, bro. But my parents usually would let me have a little bit of hair, so I would get this, just a little bit of hair, so enough to probably get like waves,
Bald with a line up buck teeth. Always had that shit on though. My mom did not play about us looking crazy.
Like
But
how my taper looks or how his taper look, yeah.
when I finally grew into my big old head, started filling in my shirts, they didn't look like a cloak on my body anymore. I realized the true power of what being attractive does. But just like everything else in this,
Like as a kid, right? When you're in early elementary school, bro, for real, like okay, all the way from like preschool to 5th grade, or not preschool, all the way from like maybe 3rd to 5th grade is when you really start kind of getting interested in girls. Maybe like 1st to 5th, right? 5th grade really when you start, 5th and 4th and 3rd for real. But you still never focus on that. You're still playing video games. You're still playing sports. You don't really care like that for real. That's how it was for me. Like I loved women, older women. That was my thing. And you know what I'm saying? I had crushes growing up, obviously, like we all did. But nothing ever really happens when you're in elementary school. But when I hit my middle school year, my 6th grade year, I was going crazy, nigga. I was out there.
where there are pro
I was out there, boy. I couldn't be stopped, boy. I was like a pit bull with no leash, no collar. You know what I'm saying? My owner just gave me a bath and forgot to put it on, and he let me go outside to use the bathroom. I jumped the fence, and when I jumped the fence, nigga, I was gone. Down the street. You couldn't find me. You could not get me back. Boy, I smelled every other dog, every other girl that was in heat from a mile away. I'm like, oh, there's one next door. There's one over there. Boy, you couldn't stop me, boy. I was on it.
pros and cons. So allow me to present to you the truth of being ugly versus attractive in school. To begin where most of us start out at. Being a
It's crazy because like I didn't even necessarily start it. It's just that's when girls actually started giving me attention. Like girls was actually giving me like attention. I'm like, dang, this never happened when I was younger. Is this the year we really like? This is what we doing? So that's why I think middle school and up. That's when people really start. Everything under that, bro. You playing video games. You focus on other stuff.
chopped young nigga. A lot of us start here. This is where you build your character and you start realizing that you like more than video games and fruit snacks and shit. You're not really too worried about how you look because you're a kid. Around elementary school, this really don't matter. Only beauty standards were like speed and the type of snacks that your mom packed in your lunchbox and shit. And that's good because there's no reason why you need to even be indulging in any activity so young. It's not until like middle school when you start to realize, dang,
Bro, this dude just took my whole flow. This dude literally just took my whole flow, bro. I just said this.
damn, you start waking up with your willy hard and shit. Wait, just one sec. Just want to take this time to tell y'all come pull up to the reaction channel. I have two Astro. We be having I remember growing up, there was this girl that developed before the rest. And the day that my Johnson had gained consciousness, it was so difficult for me to not stare at this girl. I was like in 6th grade, she was in 8th. Catching myself daydreaming about her riding bikes. See her walk by at one of my games, airballing layups and shit. I say all that to say it's around this period where you're starting to actually find women attractive. Just as we are finding them attractive, they are finding us. So that inspired us to start working on your appearance. You remember how around this period you cared more about how you might have been dressing, the way your hair looked. It's because deep down you wanted to be attractive and desired. Like I said, I knew
all I had to do was pick it out.
I wasn't unattractive because older women would always say that.
I started getting different haircuts for real until like 8th grade, well 7th grade, because that's when I got like dreads. And in fact, 7th grade year was the first year I got like cornrows. I want to say I got cornrows, and after that I got my starter locks. Then I got dreads because you know they grew into my dreads. Then after that I cut it, got a taper. Actually, I went low cut. Then I grew my hair out a little bit, got a taper.
To my mom, if I was walking with her, he's so handsome, he's gonna do something with the ladies, but that just didn't reflect when I was in school at the time. That may have been true, but in school I was undesired. Nobody wanted me. Where I was living at the time was heavily Hispanic. Around this time, Justin Bieber had just popped off. He was going stupid. Thing about Hispanic people, they can put their hair to the side, do the Justin Bieber little cut that he had. Niggas can't do that. I mentioned earlier, the haircut that I was sporting was so low. During the winter, not wearing something on my head was asking for hypothermia. Anyway, I would go into school, girls would deadass be asking, why are you bald? Walking through there looking like Lil Bill every day. But my fits was clean though. And what comes right after being unwanted is also being rejected. Because when you finally gain a little bit of confidence to be like, you know, I'm actually gonna pull up on shorty, I'm gonna talk to her. Walk up, she hits you with that forbidden ill. That's enough to almost make a nigga turn homosexual. My apologies, I'm lying. But no doubt that you carry that and it really hurts your soul. First time being rejected was weird because I actually got with the girl that I wanted to be with. When she randomly sent her homegirl to break up with me and I asked why, I found out it was because she thought I was a nice guy and I was cool. She liked this Mexican Justin Bieber haircut ass nigga.
And I just was not that.
Now, although those are the negatives, there are actual positives to coming up being an unattractive nigga. One, you don't fall into hypersexual shit so young. But the amount of young girls getting pregnant in middle school is actually egregious. How are you walking out pregnant at 12, 13?
Okay, maybe that was back then. No. There's a bunch of pregnant high schoolers in my school. Never middle school. I don't think there was one single girl in my middle school that got pregnant. I went to the same middle school for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Starting their family life before they learned algebra. You still get to come up and be a kid. You get to chill. When I finally did get a girl around this time, I'm so geeked and hyped, and like a lot of us, corn done tainted our brains young. I'm in middle school, 8th grade, trying to get head.
Well, nigga, if you don't sit down.
Another thing is you get to gain certain skills in different places. Y'all know those women or dudes or people who are pretty attractive, but they don't have no personality. They like bland. It's like talking to a wall. If you was an ugly nigga, you ain't got to go through that. You get to learn to be the class clown and be funny. You get to make up for it in certain places. You know what I'm saying? Lastly, you get to glow up. I feel like everybody has an opportunity to glow up. Your glow up might not be like somebody else's because you're probably already pretty low on that scale. You don't possess the properties to allow yourself to get to a certain point, but that's okay. You glue up still. If you had an issue of being real skinny like I did, you can get big. Teeth crooked, you get braces. A lot of people's come ups was during this period, but this is where I start to transcend and leave you chopped niggas. Some of you niggas didn't get to have the best of both worlds like me. I got to feel how it felt to not be the most attractive nigga, but then I got to feel the wrath and the power of a nigga that got hoes. Like I said, the predominantly Hispanic school that I was going to, I went there from middle school to my first year of high school. It wasn't until I moved to a more African American area and went to a new school that I realized the power that I had. Yes, I hit puberty. Yes, my jaw started to sharpen up a little bit. The day I really knew it changed, I had visited my old school, seeing a lot of the people that wasn't stunting me at the time. Left and had DMs, calls, trying to figure out what was going on. But before I get into all the positives of that, I would like to talk about the negatives of growing up attractive, because they are there. First, learning how to navigate women young. Learning about girls in middle school, 8th grade and shit, for the most part pretty innocent, besides those people that was getting pregnant. It's very subtle. I had my first kiss in middle school, barely text.
Who was getting pregnant at your school in middle school, dog? I'm not saying it don't happen, but come on, man. Like,
yeah. My mom over here checking my phone. Whenever you are talking about anything, it's some bullshit. Y'all have nothing to talk about. Once you cross over to that teenage world, you actually start to learn how demonic women can be, especially when they want you and they coming up to you. First, you might not really even notice. Like I said, at one point, I was not a desired young man. But when I finally turned up, I had women pushing up on me, asking for my number, what school I'm going to. For a moment, it was overwhelming. That's until I started getting to my bag, and I should not have been getting in my bag so young. It didn't take until my second year of high school till I started smashing. I need to be focused on school schoolwork and basketball. But instead, this girl going through my phone, kicking me out in the IHOP parking lot. Obviously, this can also be a pro, because when you're finally out of school, you're not like some of these niggas. Y'all know the ones that we be laughing at when we be like, oh, he didn't get no girls in school because they act out of character for him. They be acting out of body. It's clear that getting women is just new to them. Travis Hunter. But just like everything else, there's levels to it. You feel gassed up. You feel on top of the world. What basically leads you to having so much confidence that you just start doing things. You feeling like him. You talking to multiple girls. Shooting at women twice your age. The next thing is being seen as soft. When you are an attractive person, you automatically be seen as somebody that don't get their hands dirty, a pretty nigga, and don't fuck around to be light skinned like me. Now they talking about light skinned, pretty nigga, oh he da da da. In school that used to upset me so bad.
I don't even think I'm light skinned, bro. I think I'm brown skinned, but hey, argue with me in the chat. I will die on that hill. I'm brown skinned. Because, right, you got light skin, right? Then there's brown skin, dark skin. First off, there's different shades of each. There's different shades of light skin. There's different shades of brown skin. There's different shades of dark skin. I just think I'm on the lower end of brown skin. Like, if you were to literally come and take 2 shades of my black away, okay, then I'd probably be like, or if you took a shade or 2 shades of my black, yeah, I'd probably be light skinned then. But, like, maybe even just a shade. Like, I feel like I'm right there on the border to be considered brown skin. But, you know, like,
Bad to the point where it made me flash. It made me one of those niggas that would.
I'm only light skinned though when, like, it benefits me. Nah, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Like, I think I'm brown skinned, but I'm only light skinned when it benefits me. Like, a baddie, I only like light skinned dudes. I'm light skinned. You is cute. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then later, I'll tell her, I'm like, I feel like I'm brown skin. She be like, nah, you're light skin. I'm like, whatever, you can say what you want, but I'm only light skin when it benefits me, man.
Flash easily. I didn't like doing the lunch table roast because if somebody said something, I'm getting too mad. I became very sensitive, trying to prove that I'm a man like the rest of y'all. Think about it like this. You see somebody that's more attractive on the street, you feel welcome. You don't feel threatened. You feel like you can come up and talk to this person. Think about that one grimy chop person you saw, had his hoodie on. Your guard automatically go up. And in its essence, that's just what's going on subconsciously. At the end of the day, as long as you stand your ground, you good. Know that you're not to be played with. But that stigma is there though. Something else from the male perspective is that automatically niggas think you trying to shoot at women all the time, or that you got women lying.
I hate that. That's one thing I swear I hate about school, bro. You can't talk that, like, as a guy. I don't know how it is for girls, but as a guy, you cannot talk to any girl without somebody assuming you either like them, you're talking to them, or y'all are dating. And that shit pisses me off. Because, bro, I'm sorry, but please tell me, why do I have to be dating this girl? We, dead ass, are only 3 weeks into school. Why do we have to be talking? Why do I have to like her? Why can't it just be simply, she's a cool person, and I simply just want to get to know her, or not even get to know her, but like we sit next to each other in class and we just tend to talk. Okay, we seem close. Why can't it just be that? Why does it have to be, oh, you gotta like her, da 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 da? And I guess the thing is, for me, like, I'm a really quiet person until, like, people start talking to me. So I guess, like, it kind of makes it worse on that end, on my kind, of, like, my end of the, like, bargain. But, bro, not every girl you niggas see me talk to I like. Bro, just because you see me talking to, bro, someone could come up to me and be like, hey, do you know where class A1 is? Yeah, it's down there, you know, you turn right. Oh, okay, thank you. Well, one of these girls gonna come up to you. You talking to her? You dating her or something? Like, what y'all got going on? Nigga, I don't even know the bitch name. I'm just telling her where the class is at. I don't even know her name. I'm just letting her know where the class is at because she's new here. Or she just don't know where the class at. And that's, like, come on, bro. I swear I hate that. It's so annoying, man.